the moment your finger moves is not when the decision is made. That realization began with a question that unsettled science itself. How long does thought take? In the late 19th century, the human mind was treated as something immeasurable, too fluid, too mysterious to pin down with numbers. Reflexes were assumed to be instantaneous, automatic sparks between stimulus and motion. No delay, no choice, just cause and effect, or so everyone believed. In a quiet laboratory in the Netherlands, surrounded by ticking clocks, wires, and carefully calibrated instruments, that belief was about to fracture. Franciscus Donders didn't look like a revolutionary. He was calm, methodical, precise, but his curiosity was dangerous. Instead of asking what the mind was, he asked something far more disruptive. When does the mind act? He invited volunteers to sit, listen, and respond. A sound would ring, a light would flash, a finger would move. Each response was timed with obsessive care. Milliseconds mattered. Donders wasn't measuring muscle. He was measuring delay, those tiny pauses between perception and action that everyone else ignored. At first, the results seemed trivial. Reaction times varied slightly, a few hundred milliseconds here, a fraction of a second there. But then Donders changed the task. Sometimes the participant responded to any signal. Other times, only to specific ones. The body moved just as fast, but the clock told a different story. When choice was involved, reactions slowed. Not by much, just enough. That difference, the sliver of time added by deciding, was the shockwave. For the first time in history, thought itself had a duration. In that narrow gap between stimulus and response, Donders revealed something radical. The mind was not instantaneous. It processed. It selected. It hesitated. And that hesitation could be measured. The laboratory grew tense with implication. If mental steps took time, then thinking wasn't magic. It was a sequence, a process, something that could be studied, tested, broken into parts. This was the birth of experimental psychology, not from philosophy, not from introspection, but from clocks and careful subtraction. The mind stepped out of abstraction and into the measurable world. That tiny delay still echoes today. Every reaction time test, every cognitive experiment, every moment, neuroscience maps decision-making back to the brain. It all traces back to that quiet room and those ticking instruments. Because once we learn that thought takes time, we learn something even deeper. Between impulse and action, there is a moment. And inside that moment is choice. If this story made you pause and think, take a second to like the video, share it with someone curious about the mind, and subscribe for more hidden moments that shaped how we understand ourselves. Leave a comment below. What do you think happens in that split second before we act?